This podcast is sponsored by nobody. Hey dudes, welcome to Splat from the Past, the only 80s themed horror sci-fi show where things can get totally radical. Now today, I will be welcoming back the hilarious, the awesome Kinna McInroe, and we are going to nerd out on the entertainment of our youth, talking about film, television, and music from childhood. She's a decade older than me. She's the same age as my brother, as a matter of fact, and she's from Texas. And she has no filter, and this could be a very interesting nerd out. And when I had her on at the end of last summer, beginning of fall, I freaking fell in love with her. She is so freaking awesome. She says it like it is, and yet she has a lot of empathy, and she has a special needs child, so she related to me just perfectly. I am so excited to have her come back on to nerd out with me today. Summer is just 2 days away officially. I mean, it started already, but it's been lingering a lot lately because of the sun out, and I can't complain. I'm a happy guy. Our swimming pool is almost finished. Our yard is finally cleaned up in this new house that we've been in for the last year. That life is good. Everything is fantastic. Like I said, cannot complain. So yeah, here is my new interview with Kinna McInroe.
Hello.
Hey Kinna, welcome back. How are you today?
Good. Hold on 1 second. I can't hear you for some reason. Very good. Oh, there we go. That's better. How are you?
I am fantastic. I can't tell you how happy I am to be back with you. Life is good.
Oh,
I cannot complain.
well, that's good. That's good. I can complain for us.
No
So,
need to
what
be
have you been
negative.
up to?
Just podcasting constantly. I just got back from LA. I was at the Hollywood show for my birthday. It was fantastic.
Awesome. Happy belated birthday.
Thank you so much. And happy belated birthday to you as well. It was what, April 30th?
Oh, gosh. Yeah, you're good.
Yep.
Yes, it was April 30th. But after a certain age, we don't even recognize it anymore.
Yeah.
I'm
Same
like,
here.
I'm still alive. I don't want to know how old I am, though.
So going back in time, do you remember the first movie that impacted you as a child?
The first movie. Oh, wow. That's a good one. It would have to be probably E.T. That's one that I remember seeing at the movie theaters. That and Airplane. I
Now,
remember
yes,
thinking, oh my God, Airplane was hysterical, and E.T. I just bawled.
yeah.
Those were the two ones that I really, really remember going to the movie when I was little and seeing those. And completely different films, but they affected me, greatly. That was the type of humor that I loved,
Hmm.
and just the whole ET thing, which just ripped my heart out.
Yeah.
So
That damn Spielberg man. I mean, the first movie that impacted me as a child was Back to the Future, which he produced.
yeah, Back to the Future was a good one too, but ET I remember really affecting me, and just the first time that I ever cried, at watching a movie or TV or any of that. I remember that was what I cried on was ET. So I don't even know what year that was.
That was 1982.
Oh wow! Oh, you're good. So I was born in '73.
Yep.
So I was 11.
Wow. Yeah, God. Yeah, 1982. I mean, that was like E.T. pandemonium. I mean, there was the Reese's Pieces ad. There was
Uh huh.
The Michael Jackson song "Muscles," and whatever other
Uh
songs
huh.
he had. And there was a special that Robin Williams hosted on CBS. It was like I can't remember the name of it. It was like "In Search of E.T." or something.
Oh wow! I'm gonna have to look for that. See if it's anywhere. I don't remember that at all.
Yeah,
But yes, I just remember ET phone home and everybody doing that with their finger all the time.
yeah.
Oh gosh, I was thinking earlier because I was like, oh, I wonder what we're going to talk about, the old shows, and just everything just started, going through my mind, like all the shows I used to watch. Do you remember? You're probably too young, but a show called Soap.
Yes, and you cannot stump me, Kinna. I am a walking encyclopedia.
Good. Yeah, you sound like it. Yes, I remember that, and I couldn't really watch it. I had to sneak and watch it because it was too, too explicit for my
Yes,
at my age.
yes.
But I loved it, and I was like, "Wonder whatever happened." I just remember Billy Crystal
Yep.
and the guy with the dummy,
Oh
and
yeah.
Mona from, Who's the
Who's the
Boss,
boss? Yeah, Catherine Hellman.
and Richard. What was his name?
Mulligan.
Yes, Richard Mulligan. Yeah, you're good. Richard
I just
Mulligan.
interviewed Diana Canova, who was on that show.
Are
Cor-
you serious? Oh, that's so
Corinne.
cool.
Yeah,
Oh,
Corinne.
yes.
Yeah,
Corinne. Oh my gosh, that's hilarious.
she's
That's so
awesome.
funny.
Yeah, I mean, we'll talk television in a little bit, but I'll just say this. I said to her, I said, I don't know how the hell you guys got through tapings. The humor was so damn funny. I mean,
Uh huh.
I would just break every time. I'd be like Jimmy Fallon, just fucking break up the entire time.
Exactly. I know. I know. It was hysterical. Oh gosh, the TV used to be so great. I mean, it's still good in its own ways.
Yeah.
But sitcoms and stuff, man. I mean, I just there's a million of them that I was just sitting here thinking when you were saying that I was thinking of when I thought bosom buddies, and then I
Yeah.
thought all these different things. Oh my gosh, yeah.
What movie genre did you gravitate toward the most?
Well, when I was a kid, probably humor and stuff.
Comedy.
Now, yeah, comedy, and now I'm really into like I love horror. I love
Hmm.
mysteries, and true crime and stuff like that. I mean, I still love comedies. Don't get me wrong, but I can fall asleep watching murder, murder shows. Probably shouldn't. That's probably why I have crazy dreams.
Yeah.
But I feel like if I wasn't an actor, I probably would have wanted to be like a detective.
Yeah. You should
So,
definitely play one on a series.
yeah, exactly. I can play a detective, yeah, but I can't. The part that kind of poo poos that is that I would pass out if I saw blood or anything,
Yeah.
or that kind of stuff. So that kind of negates trying to be a detective with all the forensic stuff I'd have to be around. But that's fascinating to me, and familial
Familial.
genealogy is all fascinating to me. You know how they found the Golden Gate
Yeah.
Bridge killer and all that.
Yeah.
So I've done ancestry.com, and I'm like, ooh, I wonder if I'm gonna,
Mhm.
somebody in my family's a murderer or something. I'm gonna find out serial killer somewhere along the way.
Yeah. Yeah, comedy and horror have always been my two favorite genres. I am a huge Jason and Freddy guy, and like I
Mm-hmm.
love even the most obscure slasher films. 1981 was the best year for slasher films. They had My Bloody Valentine, Just Before Dawn, Bloody Birthday, Happy Birthday to Me, Don't Go in the Woods, which sounds like pissing in the woods.
Yeah.
Final Exam. I mean, lots of ones.
Wow. You are a Wikipedia of knowledge about all this stuff. That's crazy. Oh my
I like
gosh.
to think I'm more
Um,
accurate than Wikipedia.
Probably, yeah. You could be. No, that's not right. That came out in '81
Which
on
one?
a Thursday.
Which one? Wait. Which one? Oh. You're just giving an example. Okay.
Yeah, an example. Exactly, exactly.
Yeah.
So,
Did you see The Shining early on?
I did, and it messed me up. That and
Same here.
uh, what was the other one that really messed me up that I wasn't supposed to watch? Oh, oh my gosh. Why is this happening? It's called perimenopause, and that's why it's happening. A Clockwork Orange
Oh yeah.
and The Exorcist. I
Yes.
was not supposed to watch all three of those, and I did, and then of course I could never sleep again. I was like,
Yeah.
Linda Blair and all that. But the Clockwork Orange really messed me up because I was like, this is like real, these
Yeah.
people could do this. This could happen. So, Yeah.
I interviewed the nurse who gets naked in A Clockwork Orange.
Oh wow. Oh cool. Well,
Yeah.
how many people have you interviewed?
Oh God, like 2,375.
Oh my gosh. Wow. That's so cool.
A lot of people. Yeah. Yeah, my brother was also born in 73. I was born in 83. And so, like, everything I love, it came from him. He recorded everything off HBO. He had all the teen sex
Uh-huh.
comedy movies like Porky's, Revenge of the Nerds, Private School,
Uh-huh.
all the John Hughes
Yes.
movies. He had an obsession with medieval sword and sorcery epics like The Neverending Story and Kroll and Highlander and Labyrinth. You know?
Uh-huh. Those were not mine, but the John Hughes and all that for sure, and Porky's and Revenge of the Nerds and all those definitely um, were my, I loved them. I loved Caddyshack
Ah,
and
love
all
it.
those kinds of things too.
Huge Caddyshack fan. Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
And what was the one where they were all like trying to go and do a scavenger hunt?
Scavenger Hunt.
That's the name of it?
Yeah, Arnold Schwarzenegger, Richard Benjamin. I think Jimmy Walker's in it. A lot of people.
Oh wow. Well, the one I'm thinking about is with Jonathan Winters.
I think
Was
Jonathan
he in
Winters.
it?
Oh, it's a mad, 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 mad world.
Okay, that's what it was. Well, they were all like going around and trying to, get this stuff done. There's also one that I was thinking about the other day with Chevy Chase and Goldie Hawn, and there's like a
There's two.
ballet happening and a murder.
That's Foul Play.
Yes.
Yeah,
Oh my gosh.
that and the
I'm
other
gonna.
one.
Anytime I'm stumped, I'm just gonna send you a message and go, "Hello, what is this movie that I'm thinking of?"
People used to do that before the internet. I have to say,
That's
when I was
hilarious.
a kid, like friends of my parents or my brothers would like call the house and say, "Hey, can you ask?" My nickname was TJ back then. Hey, can you ask TJ if what who was in this movie or what year it was made or something? Always, and
That's
then
amazing.
and then
That's
what
such a skill.
and then
I
what's
mean,
what and then
how do
what's
you do that?
it's just everybody gravitates towards something, Kinna. I mean, yours obviously is acting and performing. Mine was just trivial minutia. I tried to be an actor and a comedian, and it didn't work.
Well, I mean, I tried to do stand up too, but I think I started too late in life. And it was
Yeah.
more of it's the scariest thing I think you can do.
Yes,
So
it is.
I just wanted to force myself to get out there and do it. And I hated the lifestyle of it. Now, had I started in my 20s,
Yeah.
I probably would have loved it. But I was taking a class in my 40s and doing it. So it lasted about 3 months. And then I was like, yeah, this is fun, but I don't like I'm turning into an alcoholic.
Yeah.
You put your name in a cup. You might be the first one to sign up, but the last one to go by the end of the night, and then you're wasted. And
Yeah.
so,
And it can be very competitive too and backstabbing.
yeah, and people didn't think girls were funny, guys. Were like, oh, they were just. I was like, oh, come on, girls
Yeah.
are hysterical. What about Tina Fey and
Oh yeah.
Amy Poehler? And there's a ton of funny girls, but it was a very man. It's getting better, but very mannish and cliquish world
Yeah.
um, for a long time. So,
Now, growing up in Texas, did you like watch westerns?
I wasn't really big into westerns. Not really at all. Like my grandparents used to always. He was a big John Wayne.
Yeah.
Anytime he could watch anything with John Wayne, it was always on. But I just really didn't get into it. Like as western as I got was like Young Guns.
Oh yeah.
So that's not very western. But yeah, I wasn't really into the old westerns and stuff. I was more into like the Carol Burnett show and the Love Boat and
What
Fantasy Island and all those and
what about
Three's Company. I
what
loved Three's Company.
Oh, me too. What about those like redneck car chase movies?
Oh, like Dukes of Hazard,
Yeah, Smokey and the Bandit, Convoy,
Smokey and the Bandit. Yes, I love that. I love Smokey and the Bandit.
White
I
Line
love Dukes
Fever.
of Hazard.
Yeah.
Um, the
D-
18-wheeler guy that was always in the what was his name? He was thin, tall, and he drove an 18-wheeler in those movies and Smokey and the Bandit.
Burt Reynolds or Jerry Reed.
Not Yeah, I believe Jerry Reed. Yeah, because I know Burt Reynolds. But yes, I loved All Smokey and the Bandits.
Me too.
What else did I
Cannonball Run was
love?
the first movie I ever saw when I was like, I don't know, 2 years old, and like my parents got me into that movie like early on. I was so obsessed with it. I would like I would like rewind the movie and watch it over and over again until I wore the tape out.
Oh my gosh, yeah, I loved Cannonball Run too. I mean, there was just so many different. Going back, TV was so great, wasn't it?
Yeah, yeah.
And so were movies. It was just a different time,
It was a very different
and
time.
yeah, it just like they say there's no real movie stars anymore.
It's true.
So social media and the streaming, has killed. It's really killed our industry
It
a
has.
lot. And you can't. It's harder than ever to make a living at it, and it's just like now all these big stars are going straight to streaming.
Yep.
We're not even having a lot of movies go to the movie theaters anymore. And it's just gotten really sad and scary. And you should see my residuals. 15, 20 years ago, people could work as much as I do a few times a year and still be able to live off of it. I mean, they wouldn't be rich,
Yeah.
but they could still, live off of it. Now, my residuals are like 74 cents, $1.25.
Right.
I mean, they're just laughable. I'm like, wait until you have enough to buy me a book of stamps and then just send that to me, okay? Because it's just become so hard. Um, and I'm in Texas again, right?
Yes, yes.
Yeah, so I'm back in Texas, and I did an Ethan Cohen film last year,
Mm-hmm.
and great again. I love Ethan Cohen, love the chance to do it, but everybody wants you to be a local hire, which
Yeah.
means you've got to put yourself up, fly yourself out. You don't get per diem. It's really hard to get over scale now unless you're a big name. It's just, and then by the time you take out for agent manager on the gross and pay taxes and pay for all your stay at a hotel and gas, like I've literally paid more to be in things than
Right.
making it.
Right.
And so it's just becoming harder and harder. It's really depressing, actually. I'm kind of in a spot right now where I'm just like, what am I doing? What am I doing with my life?
I know
It's not a. Yeah, go ahead.
that's why I stopped pursuing acting and stuff because I would like sign up for like these casting call companies and stuff, and they wanted you to pay huge fees, and they wanted
Mm-hmm.
you to get unionized to be an extra, which I just think is so crazy because so many crazy people become extras in movies, and when you give them perks, there's so much entitlement, like they're the star of the movie.
Oh, I know. I'll see people on Facebook that say, "Oh, my movie's coming out," and blah 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 blah. And I'm like, "Are they an actor now?" Oh no, I was just background.
Yeah.
And I'm like, "Oh, okay." I even feel bad because I only have. I mean, I have a really great juicy scene that's pivotal in the movie, Honey Don't. But I still feel bad to saying go watch it because I'm only in one scene. So it's just yeah. I'm a
Yeah.
Debbie Downer today.
It's okay. I'll bring you right up. Did you have any? Did you have any movie crushes growing up?
Oh my gosh, yes. Movie crushes and TV crushes. Willie Ames,
Yeah.
Scott Baio.
Oh God.
Yeah, and if I'd known what a jerk they turned out to be,
I used to love
well,
him. Don't get me wrong. I
I
used to
know until
love
I
him.
found out who he was.
Right.
Really,
Exactly.
underneath it all. Kirk Cameron, yeah, he's, let's see. Oh, everybody from The Outsiders.
Yeah. Yeah.
So Tom Cruise, Matt Dillon, all those.
Rob Lowe, Patrick
Yes,
Swayze.
Rob Lowe, all those.
Yeah.
The Rat Pack, all of them.
Yep.
Um, I mean the Brat Pack, not the Rat Pack. With like, what's Judd Nelson and all those
Oh yeah,
people.
Emilio Estevez.
Emilio Estevez, Judd Nelson, really hot. I thought they were gorgeous. I was in love with John Schneider
Oh God.
and Tom Wopat. Uh, and just pretty much there was somebody on every show. Oh, John Ritter, he was my
Oh,
biggest one. I was so in love with Jack
loved
from
him.
Three's Company. He was just so cute.
Yeah.
And it's so sad that he died so young.
Yeah, I mean, Cary Grant was a big one for me. My mom had this paperback book of beautiful black and white pictures of Cary Grant when I was a kid. Natalie Wood was a big one.
Hmm.
Every 80s movie actress I've interviewed and become friends with subsequently. Um, yeah, I mean, it's never really taken much for me to get crushes on people. I'll be honest with you.
Oh yeah, me neither. I mean, if and even if I like would never even look twice at the person on the street if they're talented,
Mhm.
well then that makes them, hot to me.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, Tom Hanks and Bosom Buddies. I started being in love with him, and just everybody pretty much. Um, yeah, those were the good old days.
Any movie characters that you can relate to the most, like a movie, like a movie that you loved and like the character was like a role model to you?
Well, I don't know if she's a role model, but Misery really affected me.
Mm-hmm.
And then I became a huge, huge Kathy Bates fan.
Mm-hmm.
And, I would love to do the play
Oh
of
yeah, you'd be
that,
good
but
at it.
I would love it. And so she was a big person that like affected me as far as an actress. Sally Fields really affected me as an actress. And then, I was in Where the Heart Is with her, but I didn't get to meet her.
uh,
But I got to meet Stalker Channing, which was really cool. And but yeah, all those people like growing up, the people that were when I was growing up, not like the old timey stars, but like were the Julia Roberts and the Sandra Bullocks and that kind of thing. So I was all into that. As far as like young and classical, like old time stuff, classics and stuff, it was like Marilyn Monroe, of course, and all those people. But yeah, definitely her talent, Kathy Bates, and me, being a heavier girl and all that, thinking, okay, I guess that may be the route that I take. Seeing her be a character actress, but still being able to be a lead, that's what I was wanting to be more like in my career, but really hasn't happened. So,
yeah,
oh.
Peter Sellers and being there is one I can relate to because, I have a little bit of autism and like I can influence
Mhm.
people by saying the most simple things like he does in that movie. And James Spader in Sex Lies and Videotape
I love James Spader.
because
So good.
he's a voyeur, I'm a voyeur, and so I relate to that character very well because of that.
Uh huh.
You know,
Yeah. Well, I don't relate to her in the fact that she, kidnaps a man and then tortures him. Although
yeah,
that sounds kind of fun. No, but just related to her more as herself as an actress. And people that I would relate to, I guess, like who they are, uh, like on Bosom Buddies. What was the heavyset girl with
oh,
black hair?
I'm trying to remember. I'm trying to remember. Yeah, I know who you're
One was
talking
named
about.
Sunny, I think. I'm not sure, but anyways, I kind of like felt like well, that was me as myself, like
Hmm.
more of that. Always the bridesmaid kind of person,
Oh yeah,
the friend. So
the
yeah,
Melissa
trying to think
McCarthy.
of him. Yes, Melissa McCarthy, love her, definitely love her. Love like Kristen Wiig and all those people, Tina Fey, Amy
Oh
Poehler.
yeah,
Yeah, they're all yeah. And who else was never really that big into Jennifer Aniston?
yeah.
Um,
She's got that
but
vibe.
she's grown on me. But she's just she's grown on me.
She's got that
She
vibe.
seems really nice.
Although I did like that one scene in Christmas Office Party or whatever that movie was called, where
Uh
she's
huh.
where she's like pretending to be on the phone in front of that little girl in order to get her to go away, where she's making fun of the little girl on the phone. That had me on the floor when I was in the theater.
Well, I liked it on what was it, Bad Bosses or something,
I
when
don't
she was
know.
sexually harassing him. I mean, that was funny to me
I haven't
seeing
seen
that
that.
too.
I gotta see that.
Yeah, yeah, it's pretty funny. Um,
Did you go to the
ugh.
drive-in growing up?
I really didn't. I trying to think back if I've been to a drive-in. Maybe once or twice in my life, but no, we had a place called the Wallace. It shut down, and now done it. And it's about to open again in Leveland. And that was, where we would go to the movies. And I remember my mom going to the movies and see an airplane,
Yeah.
and she had rollers in her hair.
Nice. Nice.
And I was so embarrassed. I didn't want to sit with them. But we also, Lubbock was the bigger city, and it was just 30 miles. So, we would come over to Lubbock and go to movies and stuff like that too.
Yeah, my parents started taking me at the age of 2. They took me to see Weird Science and Rambo 2, and they would take me consistently for a couple of years, and then they stopped for a little while because I would either fall asleep in the back seat of the car or I would get out of the car and knock on windshields.
Oh my gosh, that's so funny. Yeah, you were talking about being on the spectrum and stuff. Yeah, my son is as well, and we were just this morning. Now he used to love water and showers and baths and all that and swimming, and now he's like, all of a sudden he's scared to death. We don't know what it
Wow.
is. We have no idea. Nothing has changed, but now he doesn't want to get in there, and we're not going to force, because then he'll never want to do it. you know.
As a
And
kid,
so,
I hated
yeah.
baths and showers. Now, as I get older, I love them.
Yeah, but it's so weird because he used to love it. Like, he would literally on a weekend want to get in the bathtub 3 or 4 times during the day, and I'd be like,
Hmm.
"You've already had it. No, let's not." And I don't know what happened, but
I remember
I don't know.
I remember being like 3 years old. We were at the drive-in. My mom had to go to the snack bar to complain about something, and I saw Charlie Chaplin for the first time. There was this Charlie Chaplin stand-up cardboard poster. It was like a Bagley's cookie ad, and I was like, "Hey, mommy, I want a cookie just like that man has." And she's like, "You don't get a cookie. I'm mad."
Oh my gosh. Oh wow.
So getting into television, yeah, I mean, you mentioned all the great sitcoms earlier. I mean, I love the Mary Tyler Moore Show. That's one of the
Yes,
best ever.
Laverne and Shirley, Mary Tyler Moore, Bob Newhart, Too Close for Comfort. I mean, it goes on and on. It's just so many TV shows from back in the day. Um,
The Facts of Life,
Bionic Woman.
yeah, Bionic Woman, and the $6 Million Man,
Uh huh.
Battlestar
Yep.
Galactica. Do you remember Sword of Justice?
No.
Short-lived series with Dak Rambo and Burt Rosario, and yeah, he's like a swordsman in like modern 1978 or something. It only lasted like half a season. It was like one of those Universal shows that was on the same time as Battlestar Galactica and $6 Million Man.
Oh wow. No, I never saw it. That's funny. I've never even heard of it. Um, Yeah, I'm trying to think of other shows too that were kind of like maybe, but you've probably seen them all.
One Day at a Time.
Um, One Day at a Time, loved it. What was Arnold?
Oh,
We're
Different
talking about
Strokes.
Willis. What,
Different Strokes.
Different Strokes. Silver Spoons
Hmm.
with my Ricky Schroeder.
I hated
Uh,
that.
what else, man?
um,
Yeah, they were just so good.
WKRP.
In Cincinnati. Yes, loved that. Happy Days, of course.
Yep.
Um,
I'm a huge
Charles in Charge.
Yep, I'm a huge Laverne and Shirley fan.
Oh yeah, Laverne and Shirley. Yeah, definitely. Oh, speaking of, it just reminded me of Lynne Stewart. I'm just still
Oh,
so sad
I'm
about
so
her.
sad about Lynn. I just loved her positivity. I did 2 great interviews with her. We were going to do a third around the time that, things started going downhill, and sadly it never happened. But I cherish the 2 that we did back in 2018.
Yeah, she was an amazing person, and I was in a film with her and did a couple of live shows, and just we were together when Gary Austin died at the hospital, and just she was just an amazing person. But I'm still wanting to see the Pee Wee Herman documentary, but I'm
Yes.
sad. I'm going to be really sad because I performed with him and John Paragon and Lynn, so
Yep.
now they're all gone, and I'm just like, oh, sad.
I had lunch with Terry Bolo when I was in LA.
Oh yeah, I love Terry Bolo. She's awesome.
One of my dearest friends, we went to Cantor's, and she got me a really cool present. She got me a book about Matt Groening's Life in Hell, and
Oh, yeah.
it was fantastic.
No, I was watching Carrie, the old Carrie,
Yeah,
a while back.
yeah.
And is Terry in that? Because I know
hmm
like Edie McClurg
Not only
and
not
a
only
bunch of people.
not only is Terry in it, she's nude in the shower scene.
I'm gonna have to go back and watch it.
She had a great body. I mean, she still does, but back then, oh my God, it was so hot. Yeah, and all the actresses in that movie are nude in that shower scene. And yeah,
Yeah, yeah. I'll have to go back and look. I was looking at because I was like, that's Edie McClurg,
yep,
and then I thought I saw Terry,
yep.
and yeah,
And Doug
I'm
Cox
sure
is
my
in there.
child. Who?
Doug Cox.
Oh yeah, he is. Yeah, I forgot about that too.
Yeah,
Wow.
I don't know if they were all at the Groundlings yet. I know Terry was, of course, because she's a founding member. But like, I don't think Edie was there yet. Doug may have been there. Yeah, I don't know. But
Yeah.
like, it was just a funny coincidence.
Yeah, exactly. That all these people were in that. I think Doug was one of the founding members, along with Lynn, and Terry and stuff. Do you know Gloria Vassie?
Yes, Gloria's been on. That's Terry's aunt.
Oh, cool. Yeah,
And,
love Gloria. Love Gloria.
Joey Arias has been on.
Yes, it's a
And
small world.
Phyllis Katz. And
Yep.
God, so many. Bridget Sienna.
Yes. Oh my gosh.
A
Wow.
lot of people.
That's
Yeah.
cool.
Did you watch Hee Haw growing up?
Yes, I did. Hee haw. Uh huh. And oh gosh, what else? Oh, Barbara Mandrell and her sisters,
Oh,
the Mandrells. Did you watch that?
was that a variety show?
Kinda, and they would always sing and stuff.
No,
That was a good one.
but you know what though? What I've realized, like after Laughing, everybody tried to imitate that show, and everyone for
Uh
the
huh.
most part failed. But occasionally something good would happen. Like the Sonny and Cher show was fabulous.
Uh huh.
You know.
Yeah, I remember watching that some. And gosh, what was that thing I was just had on my mind? We were talking about the Mandrels. Oh, Soul Train
Soul Train.
and oh gosh, wow, there's so many different things. And did you watch a lot of game shows?
Yes, I watched Jeopardy, Wheel of Fortune. Those were like my two main ones.
Jeopardy, and what was that one? It was the devil. It was like those cards with the devil or something.
Mm,
Devil something.
I don't
Oh
know.
my gosh.
There was a lot of game
Don't
shows
remember.
that I'm just catching up on the game shows that were on back in the day. I had this guy on the show named Adam Neediff who like has written a couple game show books, and I was like, God, there's game shows that existed. I had no idea that existed.
Oh yeah, there's a ton. And Price is Right was a big one. I used to watch that when I wasn't in school yet, and I
Yeah,
remember sitting there with my cereal
my
watching
dad
the
my
Price
dad and
is
my
Right.
stepmom were on there.
Really? Oh my gosh, we went too, but I didn't get on. I mean, I was in the audience, but the guy next to me won everything, won like a car, won everything, and I was so mad. I was like, ah.
Yeah, this was like
Uh,
in 1999. I wish we had footage of it. They don't either, and I'm like, damn it, because I was in school or whatever. But like, I hope someday it'll resurface on YouTube.
oh yeah, something you probably could definitely find, or maybe one of the streamers will someday have like all the seasons on it.
My
That show though has been around for so long. There's probably thousands of episodes of
my
that.
my family wants me to go on like a pop culture trivia game show. I've applied for so many,
Yes.
but for some reason they never even let me go in to take the test. So I don't know why the fuck I can't get on a game show.
Yeah, you would win. They would be like, "This guy has not been stumped in 5 years. Somebody stumped him."
I think longer than that, but yeah. Did you watch
Oh my
Dallas growing
gosh.
up?
Yes, Dallas and uh, Knots Landing. Is that what was
Knots
it called?
Landing, Falcon Crest,
Yeah, and oh yeah, all those. Yes, and
Dynasty.
Dynasty, and the one where they were Robert Wagner,
Oh,
and they were
heart to heart.
heart to heart. Yes. Oh my gosh, this is hilarious. Wow.
It's funny.
This is making my brain explode with remembering all these different things now. That's crazy.
I've talked to a couple cast members of Dallas. So many of them cannot get work now, and it's not because they're not. It's not because of the familiarity of their characters on that show, but like they all vote Republican.
Yeah, I can see that.
Yeah. Did you watch Simon and Simon?
No. Wow.
That was one of my.
I have not watched.
That was one of my favorite detective shows. They were just so funny together, and that theme song fucking rocked. One of probably the best theme song of any cop show in the 80s.
Oh, wow. No, never watched that. Of course, I watched Cheers and Little House on the Prairie.
Mm-hmm. I'm a Waltons guy.
Yeah, I watched the Waltons. Brady Bunch, of course.
Partridge Family.
Brady Bunch. Partridge Family, yes. Exactly. And, oh my gosh.
Did you watch children's programming?
I did. I watched The Electric Company and Sesame Street.
Zoom?
Nope.
Schoolhouse,
not really.
Schoolhouse Rock?
No, I watched a little bit of, oh gosh, what was it? Well, I love the Muppets.
Yeah, me
too. A little bit of Fraggle.
Me
Rock
too.
And
me too.
What was that? Oh, what was that? Land of the Lost with the dinosaurs?
Yeah, Sid and Marty Krofft.
Land of the Lost. I loved that.
Oh, let's see if you remember this. The Great Space Coaster with Gary Gnu.
No.
Yeah,
never even heard of that.
Gary Gnu was like a hippie puppet. He was like this weird-looking Gnu hippie puppet, and like it was on when my brother, was growing up in the 70s, and I found out about him later, and I was just like, God, this is so like so underground.
Oh wow, I'll have to look for that. Oh, what about like Boris and Natasha? And Inspector Gadget.
Rocky and Bullwinkle.
That was one of the mornings while I was getting ready for school, Inspector Gadget.
Underdog.
Oh, I didn't see that.
Oh, yeah, there's Underdog.
What about the Benjis?
Benjis. Yes, I've had Joe Camp on the show before he died.
Wow.
We talked about Benji. God,
I also love Jane Fonda, which she's pretty controversial, I guess, for some people, but like on Golden Pond and all that, was just amazing. That was a great movie.
Clute.
Another one that I bawled. Clue, yes.
Fun with Dick and Jane.
Yep.
Barbarella.
Yep.
I think the closest my Nana ever came to having a lesbian moment was when she went to see Barbarella and she couldn't get over how good Jane's body was.
Oh, yeah. I remember Jane Fonda workouts and stuff. I would have those on the VHS and do those when I was a kid. And Kathy Smith's, too. Let's see, what else? MASH.
Huge MASH fan. It's funny, I never liked the McLean Stevenson and Wayne Rogers era. I just thought that they were miscast. But then once Harry Morgan and Mike Farrell and Larry Linville came on the show, it became classic. Really classic.
Yeah. What else?
Did you watch Saturday morning cartoons?
Yes, I watched pretty much Bugs Bunny and the Smurfs.
Alvin and the Chipmunks?
Not so much. I mean, I've seen it before, but not so much then. I was a real Bugs Bunny girl, though. And the Looney Tunes and all that.
Love Bugs Bunny. I own various VHS compilations of Looney Tunes cartoons because they were a huge part of my childhood.
Mine too. Just sitting there getting a sugar high of cereal and watching that, every Saturday morning.
Yep.
Loved it.
Do you remember Heathcliff?
I do, but I didn't really get into it. Do you remember Alf?
Yep, I was a huge Alf kid. Do you know what I love about Alf is that, he looks Jewish with that nose, and he has like a really old Borscht Belt comedian delivery, the way he hits out the one-liners. And being a comedy nerd that I am, it's just Alf was always appealing to me.
Yeah, Alf was great. What about Garfield? Were you a Garfield person?
Yeah, a little bit, not too much. It's funny, I always thought that he talked like Bill Murray, and I wasn't surprised when Bill Murray did the cartoon live-action movie.
Love Bill Murray. Love all his, Stripes. all of those.
All the meatballs.
Yes, meatball stripes, and of course, oh my gosh,
Scrooged.
Yeah, again, Ghostbusters.
Of course,
Stuff.
Ghostbusters. The Razor's Edge.
I still haven't seen the female version. I need to watch that.
I gotta say, I love those girls, but just I didn't think that their sense of humor
It didn't work.
gelled well with Ghostbusters humor. Yeah.
Yeah.
Did you watch You Can't Do That on Television?
Oh, no.
It was a Canadian kids sketch comedy show, and there's a running joke. Anytime you said the word water, you would have water dumped on your head. If you said slime, you'd have slime dumped on your head.
Oh, that's funny. That's crazy.
Yeah.
What else?
Did you watch MTV?
Oh yeah, MTV, and Benson. Do you remember that show?
Yep, I remember Benson because that was a spin-off of Soap.
And then The Nanny. I watched that for a little bit.
She's great.
Fran Drescher, yeah. And then what else?
Did you watch HBO comedy specials?
I did. Well, not so much when I was a kid. I remember sneaking around and seeing Raw and Delirious and all that. And I was like, oh my God, this is the funniest stuff I've ever heard in my life. And then I was a big Bill Cosby fan, which that's ruined now.
Yep.
I saw him live right before everything went down in LA. And that was just it's such a waste. But yeah, I loved his humor, and of course Eddie Murphy.
Yes.
And I love oh my gosh, Richard Pryor and Gene Wilder, Blazing Saddles.
Yep.
All that kind of stuff. Brewster's Millions, all of those.
Oh my God, I totally love you. Brewster's Millions is one of my favorite comedies of all time. My dad and I
love it. Loved Arthur.
To this day, my dad can watch Brewster's Millions. We know what line is coming up next. It's just one of our favorites. I remember I saw it in the summer of '86. My grandpa had just died. It really, really helped me get through grief when I was 3. I love Brewster's Millions.
Yeah, it was great. And Frankenstein, of course.
Yep, Frankenstein.
That was really, all my types of humor growing up was like Frankenstein and Blazing Saddles and, Airplane and Carol Burnett and all that. That was really kind of it just doesn't seem like that happens anymore,
No. And Airplane came out in 1980. That was a great year for comedy movies because you had that, you had Private Benjamin, you had the
I love Private Benjamin. Oh my gosh,
the Hollywood Nights, Used Cars. God, what else? There's a lot of great. There's underrated comedies that came out that year. Like there's one called First Family with Buck Henry. Buck Henry wrote and directed it, and Bob Newhart's the President of the United States, and Gilda Radner's his nymphomaniac daughter.
Oh wow, I'm gonna have to look for that.
It's on YouTube. Yeah.
Oh, okay, cool. Well, I loved everything too with you were saying Buck and Uncle Buck and Planes, Trains, and Automobiles.
John Candy.
He was my
hero. He was my hero growing up. I loved Armed and Dangerous.
Yes.
Summer Rental. A Splash. Volunteers.
Yes.
Lots of good ones he did. Yeah. He, his daughter and his son's keeping his memory alive. I think there's a documentary or something coming out about him.
Oh, good. Oh, yay.
It's long overdue because he was just... He was one of the greats, and he did so much work in just, 20 years. I mean, he left behind a lot of work. There's work he did I've only discovered in recent years I had no idea about. He had a sketch comedy show in 1980. It was him, Tim Kazurinsky, Tino Insana, and a couple people who ended up leaving the business. And Billy Crystal would host the show, and McLean Stevenson, and Dinah Canova. I talked to her a little bit about it. Yeah, he just did a lot of great work, John Candy.
Yeah, he was amazing. That was a hard one. That was hard, and then, of course, Chris Farley was hard. Loved him, Black Sheep, and all
Tommy
of those,
Boy.
Yes, my favorite, Tommy Boy.
Remember
my God, that
remember Black Sheep? My name is Jack Me Off.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, I love him, and I love Jack Black too. I mean, that's just kind of, like I'm saying, that kind of humor is what I really go for. And I loved Saturday Night Live. I haven't really watched Saturday Night Live much though
Yeah,
in the last 10, 15 years,
not
but I used
since
to watch it,
not since Eddie Murphy.
faithfully.
When Eddie Murphy came back to host, that was the last time I watched in 2019.
Yeah, I don't usually, unless there's something, on YouTube that's like something happened or controversial, or I wanted to see the musical guest or whatever, or the opening monologue. But it just got to where they never had endings.
I know.
Their endings just were crap. And it just, for a while there, it just kind of sucked. Like, the best years were the Eddie Murphy years and
Uh,
all of that. I mean, but I also liked like the Will Ferrell years, and there were several different
yeah,
casts that were like really great. Also, Will Ferrell, love him, love all his movies. Elf is one of my favorites.
yeah.
Um, he's hilarious.
I
And
love
that movie.
I love
Go
Chris.
ahead.
I love Chris Kattan, and I read his
Uh huh.
memoir. And God, I mean, he was his own worst enemy. And after
Yeah.
he hurt his neck, he went down that rabbit hole of
Yes.
drugs and stuff.
Oh yeah.
I thought he was going to be just as big as Will Ferrell and the rest of them during that
Uh
era.
huh.
I like Corky Romano. There's a lot of people that don't like it, but I think it's hilarious, that movie.
Uh huh. Well, he was supposed to be doing the show with me for the Gary Austin benefit, and he showed up like three-fourths of the way through the show.
Mhm.
And we had it at the Groundlings, and they have two doors on stage that you can walk through. And he walked through the show when we were all like looking at our watch, going, "Glad you showed up, Chris," kind of thing. So
Yeah.
I think that was kind of too at the height of his, getting addicted and stuff because of his pains and
T-
his wreck that he had and all that. So, um,
Terry told me he had a crush on her when he was a kid.
aw, that's sweet. I loved his dad. His dad was in Gary Austin's class for
Kip,
a while.
yeah, Kip King.
Kip King, and he was also, as you know, Papa Smurf
Yep,
and all that.
yeah. He was on Bosom Buddies. He like played a restaurant maitre d. I remember, and
Uh
he was
huh.
really rude. I remember. Yeah.
Yeah, he was great.
So getting into
Did you watch
oh, go ahead.
Seinfeld and stuff like that?
Oh, huge Seinfeld fan. It's funny. I watched it when I was a kid. I didn't get it, but when I was in the
Uh huh.
hospital recovering from my accident 10 years ago, I watched every fucking episode for months until I left the hospital.
Oh wow. How long were you in the hospital?
5 months. I had the
Oh my
accident.
God.
The accident was on January 21st. I got out the day before my birthday. June 5th is when I got out.
Oh my gosh. And were you like in a coma, or were
Yes.
you?
30
Whoa.
days. I woke up on my mom's birthday, February 21st.
Wow. That was the best birthday gift she ever got, I'm sure.
Oh,
Oh wow.
the best birthday gift I ever got was this year. My mom got out of the hospital. She took a fall in May, and she got out on my
I'm
birthday, and I
sorry.
came back home the next day on the 7th. So
Oh well, I'm glad she's doing better. Wow. Yeah, my mom's getting to the age where she's got arthritis, and she's 78.
hmm
And she's getting really frail and all that. It's just, it's sad to see her parents go downhill. My dad died when he was 27, so I don't really
oh,
remember him because I was 18 months old. So,
I feel bad. I
um,
feel bad for people who lose parents, especially that young, because they never know what it's like to have a real parent. That's a mother,
yeah,
father, or
exactly,
anything. It's
exactly.
awful. It's got to be the most awful feeling in the world.
Well, like I said, I don't remember him, but my mom said at the time that the doctor said I was very depressed, and I would just shake and shudder in my crib because my dad was the one I was a daddy's girl, and he would rock me and put me to bed every single night, and I didn't have that anymore. But again, I don't remember any of this, but she kept taking me to the doctor because I was just so sad and
hmm
crying all the time. So, yeah, if I look at my kid when he was 18 months old, I'd have been so sad if that would have happened for him.
Yeah.
So,
So getting into
honey.
so getting into music, do you remember the first album you bought or was given to you?
Huh. I'm gonna say it was probably like Grease.
Yeah.
And we used to like turn it on. We had the big old record player that was like, huge, like the TVs used to be.
Mm-hmm.
It was like in this big console. And then, I mean, at that time, I was more like um, Kenny Rogers, Dolly Parton, Old
Yeah.
Country, Ronnie Millsap,
Patsy Cline.
Olivia Newton-John, all that kind of stuff. Anne Murray.
Patsy Cline.
Patsy Cline, yes. And it's just like stuff like Roy Orbison, just the old school stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And then I got more into, when I got into school, into pop and all that. And then I remember being a huge Prince and Michael Jackson and Janet Jackson and all that. I mean, I kind of went through the musical gambit because then when I was in high school, I was a headbanger. I was Metallica. I was all that.
Yes.
AC/DC, all that kind of
Oh,
stuff.
I'm a
The 80s.
huge AC/DC fan. I used to dress like Angus around the house and play guitar because
Oh,
my
yeah.
my dad had AC/DC records on vinyl. My dad was a musician in his earlier years. He had a band, and so like he had AC/DC records and Beatles, Stones, Beach Boys, Carole King's Tapestry, a lot of good stuff.
Yes. Yeah, Carole King, Joni Mitchell, what's the lady? Carly Simon.
Carly
I mean,
Simon.
it just,
My uncle,
yeah,
my uncle dated Carly
Garfunkel and
Simon.
Simon. Yep.
My uncle dated Carly
Just
Simon, late '60s.
I mean, now I'm very eclectic, I can listen to pretty much anything. There's certain things that don't really appeal to me. But like even with country, I like Jelly Roll and
Oh
people
yeah,
like that. I really have gotten into him. He's great.
yeah.
So,
Do you remember your first concert?
yeah. My first concert, I'm going to say, was it AC/DC or was it Poison, Motley Crue? I'm going to say, oh, White Snake.
Oh yes, yes. Tawny Katane.
I did see AC/DC and all of them too, and Motley Crue and all that. The only person I didn't get to see that I wanted to see was Bon Jovi. Oh my God, I had a huge crush on him.
I'm a huge Bon Jovi
Whoa.
fan. I heard his
Yeah.
concerts are not very good anymore because his voice has changed.
Yeah, yeah. And he's such a great guy, though, having that basically a food kitchen restaurant open
Oh
that
yeah,
just served to the poor.
oh yeah.
Such a great guy.
I saw Alice Cooper, my first huge concert. I was 17.
Oh, cool.
I was 17. That guy is a showman. I mean, he'll do half his career on stage, and he'll kill himself at the end of every show, whether it's
Oh,
being stabbed
wow.
or shot or hung or
Oh, my
electrocuted.
gosh.
Yeah, and it is an extravaganza. It's no wonder people love him.
Yeah. Yeah, I would love to go see now I'd love to see like Lady Gaga, which I haven't been to a concert in like, we used to go all the time to Hollywood Bowl
Yeah.
when I lived in Los Angeles, and that was great. And we'd go to the jazz. My husband's a real big jazz person, and we'd go to the jazz festivals and stuff.
Hmm.
So that was great. But since I've been back in Texas, I have not been to one concert, and they had Jelly Roll come here, and I kind of wanted to go to that, but
Yeah.
I didn't get to. But yeah, I mean, I just pretty much I like a lot of people. Billie Eilish. I mean, there's a lot of people out today that I like, and then of course the old school, like the Stones and all that. Thank God for Alexa, 'cause
Yeah.
just whatever you want to listen to.
I'm a huge '80s metal fan. I'll tell you, my dad hated it because he just thought that everyone was just imitating Kiss, who he loves. He loves Kiss
Uh-huh.
and stuff. But like I grew up on the popular ones, and I've come to love the really obscure ones that either I missed or at the time I thought they were okay.
Uh-huh.
I remember when Slaughter came out, like right at the peak of the '80s hair metal. I thought that album was fantastic. I
Oh
love
my
that.
God, Slaughter, yes. And then also like a new wave, like Depeche Mode, Yaz.
Duran
And
Duran,
Upstairs Eric was great, and all that, all of those.
Duran Duran, Human
Since
League.
Yes, and since my husband, is European, he's always introducing me to different, artists over there that I had no idea about. And so it's kind of funny because my he'll go from like Sunny by Boney M, and then he'll do, Poker Face by Lady Gaga. He just has all these different sensibilities for an 8-year-old. They're like at the center of the ABA center. They're like, "What is he? What is this song?" I'm like, "Yeah, he got to introduce this from my husband." So, but I love watching like the Eurovision contest now. Do you ever watch that?
No, what is the Eurovision?
Every year they have it, and all these different countries come, and except for United States, in Europe, of course, all they come and they put forward their best act or talent that's not been discovered really yet. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
they might be playing and getting building up a thing, but they're not famous. And like that's how ABBA got discovered and stuff back in the day. They won, and I mean, it's just like like you were saying, they put on a show.
Mm.
Everything from like very avant-garde to very like a song about coffee and so it's really funny. And some are in different languages and some are in English and stuff. But then they kind of vote. The countries vote, and then the people vote. So they have representatives from every country, and you can't vote for yourself.
Right.
So, anyways, it's really interesting. The guy that won this year was amazing. I can't remember his name, but I've never heard a man sing that high before in my life. It was just his voice was crazy good. So anyways, it's on streaming. I think it's on Peacock if you ever want to watch it.
Okay.
The Eurovision.
I'll check it out. Do you remember your first makeout song?
Oh, wow. Ooh. No, that's great. That's a great question. I remember my first kiss, and it was very, very sloppy and wet. It was my whole face was like water everywhere. I was like, whoa, gross. But I don't remember. Oh, I would have to say it was probably something Bon Jovi. While we were in the car.
Yeah.
That was on and just making out. That or maybe some Madonna. I was a huge Madonna girl.
Me too.
Still love Madonna.
Me too.
Yeah. That's a good one. I don't know about that one. What was yours?
When I was 12, it was Janet Jackson's Love Will Never Do Without You. It was in the middle of an arcade. We were on one of those sit-down games, and there was like nobody there, and it led to my first finger bang.
Oh, God.
Yes.
Oh, wow. Okay, cool.
It was fantastic, Kinna. It was.
That's hilarious. Oh, my gosh. That's funny. Well, that's cool. That's a good memory. Yeah. I don't remember that. So,
Do you have anything? Do you have anything upcoming on the career front you'd like to mention?
Just Honey Don't is supposed to be opening August 22nd at the theaters, and that's the Ethan Coen, Trisha Cook. It's a kind of it's a trilogy, but I don't know if it's a trilogy. Did you see Drive Away Dolls?
I have heard of it. I haven't seen it.
It kind of got panned. This is the second one in the 3 films they're doing. They're basically lesbian B movie type, kind of things.
Yeah.
So you'll like it, I think. It was really funny. I think this one is way stronger than Drive Away Dolls. Margaret Qualley's in it, Chris Evans, Audrey Plaza, Charlie, what's his name? From It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah, Lynne was on that show.
And Billy Eichner, me, I don't know who else. But there was quite a few people in it. But Margaret Qualley's blown up the past year.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah.
Just everything from The Substance to... She's in every movie. She was in Poor Things. She was,
Right.
She's been in a ton of stuff, so...
I'm hearing her name a lot. Yeah.
Yeah, she's Andy McDowell's daughter.
Yes, she was in Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. She's
exactly.
Yeah, she hitchhikes at Brad Pitt and she offers to suck his dick while driving. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
And she's great. She's in it, and my scenes with her. And at the table read, I got to sit by Chris Evans, and I was like, oh! But I didn't get to meet Aubrey Plaza, and then sadly that happened with her husband.
Right.
I really wanted to meet her, but didn't get to. She was not shooting the days I was there, so. But Ethan Coen was a dream.
Mm-hmm.
He was amazing, and so was his wife, Trisha Cook.
And Joel,
Both of them are great.
he's married to Frances McDormand, right?
The other one's married to Francis, but yeah, the other one,
Yeah,
the
Joel.
other
Yeah,
Coen brother.
yeah, Joel Coen. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's funny how they've broken apart in recent years after being together for so long, you know?
They're going to get back. He was telling me when I went and did the ADR for Honey Don't in Austin, he was telling me that they're going to be doing some horror film, and I said, well, I better get an audition because that's my favorite genre. And he said, good to know, good to know. So, anyways, they're going to come back together. They just kind of went away for a while to do their own things.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, later in life.
Yeah, I mean, I love everything they do, from Fargo to Oh Brother Where Art Thou to Raising Arizona.
Raising Arizona.
Big Lebowski.
Raising Arizona is one of my top 10 favorite comedies of all time.
Oh yeah, hilarious! It's so funny. I love Fargo too.
Fargo's
And that's
great.
kind of what I get from this Honey Don't. It's funny, but it's also really got a lot of gruesome stuff in it and bloody and all that. So it's kind of a mix like that, but very character driven as well. So you'll have to check it out.
I certainly will. And now it's time to play my secret silly game. I wanted to play this with you. I wanted to play this with you last time, but we were on a time limit. So this is a series of silly slumber party questions. It's no win or lose. It's just pure fun. And how the game works is I ask you the question, you answer it, then you ask me that exact same question, and I answer it. And feel free to comment on the answers because they might be funny.
Okay, cool.
Okay, Kinna, are you ticklish?
Yes. Are you ticklish?
Yes, but if you tickle me without warning, I might hit you in the groin.
Okay, okay. Good to know. I will never sneak up on you and tickle you.
Is your belly button an innie or an outie?
My belly button's an innie. Is yours an innie or outie?
It is also an innie. And June is National Belly Button Month. It's my favorite part of the body.
Okay, interesting. I'm not really into belly buttons.
It's where life begins, you know?
Yeah, but it's not really my thing.
What color are your toenails painted?
Right now they are like an aqua blue.
Nice.
What color are your toenails painted?
They are clear, but when you see them in the light, you can see a little bit of a rainbow. I did this for my LA trip.
Nice.
It looks really good. What would you say is your best personality trait?
Sense of humor. What is your best personality trait?
It is no doubt your best personality trait. Mine is I have empathy and I have no filter.
There you go. I don't have it either. And I just got diagnosed with my husband with ADHD, and I was like, okay, there you go. I have no impulse control.
Yes.
It just comes out of my mouth.
Exactly. If you could have anything named after you, what would it be?
If I could have anything named after me, it would probably be like some beautiful theater somewhere.
Aww.
That would be cool. Or an acting school or something. What would you have named after you?
A vibrator.
Oh my God, that one got me.
Yeah.
Oh gosh.
I'd call it the Tom.
I had one time. I named him Ben Affleck.
Love it. I'd call mine the Tommy Chatsy.
Oh my gosh.
What is your guilty pleasure?
My guilty pleasure would be like watching I call it my murder porn, but my mom's like, murder porn? And my mom, it's not real porn. It's just, that's what people call it. My murder shows.
Yeah.
That would probably be my guilty pleasure. What's your guilty pleasure?
Watching a raunchy sex comedy movie and eating pizza.
Oh, nice. Yeah, well, of course, pizza is probably a guilty pleasure, too. And gummies.
Yeah.
THC gummies.
Oh, those kind of gummies. I just like gummy bears in general.
Oh, no, THC gummies.
And then my favorite question, is there a stinky smell that just makes you gag?
A stinky smell that just makes me gag. Butthole. And just pure bo. Like, if
Yeah.
somebody has really, really, really bad bo,
Mm-hmm.
I get a headache and I just want to throw up.
Yeah.
What's your gross stinky smell that makes you want to gag?
Either farts or feet.
Ew, yeah.
I got two jokes for you.
Okay.
You know the difference between a penis and a Rubik's cube?
Uh, no.
The more you play with it, the harder it gets.
Oh my gosh, I should have seen that one coming. Ah, no pun intended. What's your other joke?
What did the blonde say after a blowjob?
I don't know.
Way to go, team.
Oh my gosh. Oh wow, that's funny. That's funny. Those were good.
Thank you. Kinna, I love you. Thank you so much for coming back on and nerding out with me today.
Of course. Thank you for asking me. And yeah, good luck with everything. And I hope to talk to you again sometime soon.
Absolutely. That I hope that movie comes out and does very well, the Cohen movie. And
Thank you. Thank
yes.
you so much. I do too. Mama needs a break right now.
Yeah.
Definitely need a break. All right, doll. Well, I will talk to you soon. Thank you so much.
Absolutely. Have a great day.
You too. Bye bye.
Bye-bye. Well, there you have it. Kinna McInroe, ain't she a sweetheart? Oh my God, she is one of the funniest ladies in the world. I friggin' love her. She is so awesome and just so damn funny. And she's a ball of energy. Oh my God, she was like the Energizer Bunny. Just listen to her go, go, go. I loved listening to her anecdotes, and even taking an interest in my interest too. I mean, she was fabulous. I think that nerd out was very awesome, very spontaneous. I enjoyed it. Well, until next time, this is Tommy Throwback Kovac saying there's no shame in living in the past because the present sucks. Later, dudes!